Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Scene Snobs podcast. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan. I'm back again. Producer Paul, he's calling things from the sidelines, so make sure you get your comments out there. We are live every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And it's a nice chill night. I'm actually having a very good, calm, confident day. And I'm happy about that. And I'm happy to share that with all of you, I guess. I think you guys are beautiful people. And on this journey, I love hanging out with you. I wanted to start off tonight. So I've been, something a little bit newer. We've been keeping up the Quiet on Set documentary and just how everything was involved. A few episodes ago, we talked about that. So make sure you go back and check out, everything we talked about with it. But they did another episode 5, and it is receiving a lot of backlash. And it bugged me a little bit with that because the backlash from the fans, it's almost like weirdly shaming the victims that are in there. But also when you watch the documentary, you completely understand it because this episode was not anywhere near part of the documentary. It did not involve the documentary filmmakers of the Quiet on Set documentary. It was just a reunion episode. It was awkward as hell. And it seemed more exploitive than anything else. And what bugged me about it was there were some really good messages. So I say go back and watch it because the victims that, had spoken in the documentary that returned, shared a lot of great information. So I just wanted to offer an alternative perspective to that because I did see a huge amount of backlash against that episode, but at least go listen because there's a lot of mental health talk, and dealing and coping with, these traumas and stuff like that. And I think that those are messages that should shine through and we should be focused on, even though that was a disaster of a show. So yeah, just wanted to offer a different perspective on that. Otherwise, wanted to let you guys know I'm doing really well. That program that I started 8 weeks ago, I'm finishing up my final 2 this week. And yeah, I feel really good. Helps me a lot, helped me deal with a lot of things. So I want to thank you guys for all your support, reaching out to me, talking to me about it. You guys are all amazing. Well, let's get to the movie stuff. Okay, we have some fun topics tonight. And I'm going to bring on the man, Producer Paul, who's been sitting on the sidelines looking pretty that whole time. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you? Well, I know how you're doing now, so never mind.
I am. I'm doing good. I do feel good. I want to say to everybody, thank you again for checking us out. And I appreciate you for our wonderful sponsors of this video, Shopify. That's right. Go check them out down below in the description, but after the episode, and we'll talk about it a little bit more later. But before we get into our first topic, I thought it'd be fun to talk a little bit about what we're doing next week.
Okay.
Because I just want to give a sneak peek, because whenever we do these mixtape episodes, I get a lot of feedback that people really enjoy. So, announcement, we're doing another mixtape episode.
Heck yeah.
I'm excited for the topic of it. How do you feel about the topic of music from TV shows?
I think it's going to be fun because a lot of my high school years was watching a lot of the big teen shows at the time, and I did pull a lot of decent music from different series. So I think it's going to surprise you more than anything else. Some of the song choices that I might have enjoyed, guilty pleasures, if you will.
Yeah, and I want it to be a healthy mix, and we're gonna bring on some guests for that one. It's gonna be a lot of fun, but I want it to be a healthy mix of not just music from the opening credits. I want it to be add those, please, because that would be great to hear what some of our favorites are. But there's so much good music that has come from TV shows and has been used on shows that so well that I think that should really be covered.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be a great episode. I think it's
gonna be wild, y'all.
Guys, our first topic tonight: when does based on a true story in movies go too far?
I was happy when you chose this topic because it's something I've talked to Matt about too many times.
Take it away, my friend. I want to hear your opinions on this.
So I just feel like I understand that, they definitely state it's based on a true story. But like you said, where do we draw the line? If it's not just making it theatrical, what the story is, I don't think they should even say based on a true story. I think it should be maybe even say inspired by a, because then it just tells you, oh, okay, like they took, sorry for using this as a thing, but like a shooting at a gas station or something, and they'd make a movie about it. Just say inspired, don't say, oh, it's based on true story. And if you actually know the true story, you're like, this isn't what happened at fucking all. In my opinion.
I live in that area, and it's funny you mentioned that. I live in the area now. Well, actually, I'm a little bit farther west now, but did live right in the area with the DC shooter hit a few places near on 95. And I wasn't here at that time. My brother was here. My wife was here. There's a bunch of people I knew that were living down here, but it just, and then I remember when they did the movie, and you're right. Like it's how much is sensationalized.
Right.
And for me, that's something that takes a lot away when I watch a movie. Because like when I love getting into movies, like I don't mind if it's not true. You can do that time period, or you can do that. I don't give a shit if it's not true.
Right.
Tell me a good story.
Right.
The Patriot is a good example of this. I love that movie. That has the right amount of like that sentimental vibe to it, but there's some good action. There's some good like darkness to it. There's like a lot to it that I just really enjoy. Right. And that's the Mel Gibson one, not the Steven Seagal one. Everybody. I know some of my base is probably like, listen, guy, the Steven Seagal one's not great. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the other monster in the room. So no, but for me, it's like that's a movie that I know it's not true. There's some true real characters, like real life characters. It doesn't try to base itself on truth or anything like that. It's just a story. So that's fine by me. But if they had put like based on a true story just because General Cornwallis makes an appearance in the movie.
Yep. Whoop, whoop. Shout out North Carolina.
That's very true. But sometimes it feels like they do it a little too overboard.
Yes. Yeah.
Good example, I think, is The Strangers.
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
One of the biggest sales on that movie was that it was based on a true story. The Strangers came out, and like you're like, I need to read the story. I'm sure it's sensationalized for Hollywood and they don't stalk like this, but like I got to read this story. And it was just based on the fact that the director was home one night and somebody knocked on his door and asked for somebody who wasn't there. I was like, are you kidding me? How does it warrant based on a true story or based on true events or anything? It's not the truth.
No.
And in fact, when it's that minuscule, minuscule of a thing, I'm calling bullshit on all your stories. I'm just going to call you liars from now on and say, that didn't even happen. I bet you stole that from somebody else. Somebody else told you, hey, guess what? You hear Doug? Doug's dead because somebody knocked on his door and asked for somebody else. And then they came in. How would we know that story if Doug's dead? What are you talking about? Right. What are you talking about? 7-year-old. And then that guy took that story and then made another movie. Instead of based on true.
Another ridiculous horror movie that claimed it was based on a true story is Bye Bye Man. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh my God.
Absolutely not. Like I think a husband went crazy and ended up like he did like kill his family, which isn't cool, but that was the only part I think that was actually true. Everything else was fictitious. And I was like, okay.
Wait, which movie?
Bye Bye Man.
Oh, you know what? I don't know why my mind immediately went to Amityville. I remember you saying Bye Bye Man, but like for some reason my mind immediately went to Amityville when you said it. It was,
right.
Oh man. I did see Bye Bye Man.
No.
Yeah. No.
If it's based on true story, I want a movie like Patriots Day. Like it's theatrical because you added Mark Wahlberg and his kind of backstory, but all the events add up and were correct for the most part. You know, I get they had to make it theatrical. Or what's the other one they did about the Atlanta bombing for the Olympics? Richard
Richard Jewell.
There you go. Like that. That
Something
was
like
fine
that.
too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a real event. And that's the thing. Like, honestly, completely, I think they should drop based on a true story, which I kind of think they have. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it does still exist.
Right.
So don't tell me people it doesn't exist anywhere, because I know it still exists. Godzilla X Kong, like that was based on a true story. Future event. I hope not. Goddamn. So no, but for me, like, drop based on a true story. You can keep based on true events on movies like we were just talking about.
Right.
You know, like the Richard Jewells or Stronger. Stronger is another one that was based on the Boston Marathon. And yeah, also, but from a different perspective, is one of the victims.
Right.
Like that's another one. Like I don't. There was what was it? The Vinny Paz movie, The Boxer.
Oh,
not Vinny Paz.
Yeah, you said Vinny Paz. I was like, the rapper.
No, not the rapper. You're Vinny Paz. He might actually be Vinny Paz too. Miles Teller played him in the movie, but he was like a dude who like got in a car accident, like broke his body.
Yeah.
And then he came back and then he won a championship. Oh, a heavyweight belt. So, or not heavyweight, he might have been a middleweight, but inspiring story. Honestly, it's a great story. I think people should really watch that movie. But for me, that's based on true events.
Right.
You know, or The Fighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am so tired of like the very thinly veiled, like, let's use basic, like the only horror movie that's allowed to use based on true events, I think, just for fun.
That's fair.
Just because that was one of the greatest trolls. Everybody believed it. I don't care who. I don't care. I don't care who in this Snob Nation out there is telling me. I knew. No, you didn't.
No,
I don't believe you. No, you didn't.
Whoever was in charge of their marketing, whoever's in charge of marketing, I hope he made out like a bandit, because that was genius. Like getting news people involved, setting up a call it, like they marketed that
websites
correctly.
The tribute websites to the victims, like it's crazy. That was amazing marketing. That's why I'm like, that deserves to be. I say we start mixing it up a little. Let's take based on a true, since anybody can just lie, right? You know, that seems to be what it is. Most people, studios just lie. So I say we start taking based on a true story, and where would it fit? How about Rising Sun based on a true story? Lethal Weapon 3 based on a true story. None of the others.
Yeah. Just the first one.
3. No, 3.
Oh,
just 3.
Just 3.
So not any of the others. Just 3. So why?
I'm sure cops have. So why not? That's funny. See, I thought you were going to go with The Conjuring, to be honest, because I was going to be like, look, some of those possession movies are based off accounts of people that aren't around anymore. So I could say maybe it's based off a true story, because we don't know the true story. So I guess I kind of got to go with you.
Here's my mic drop.
Uh-oh.
The Strangers were talking about how that was based on a true story, right? So similarly, I'm taking this medication, dry mouth me, and now like I'm like now I'm slur on everything. So Nightmare on Elm Street was written, and it was based on true events. The Cambodian people who were drinking the coffee to stay awake and then dying in their sleep, versus and also Fred Krueger was somebody who terrorized Wes Craven as a kid. So with based on, you can say based on real events, true events, based on a true story. Would that mean that Bambi is more based on a true story than The Living Dead?
Yes. I can't argue with you on that. You are 100% correct. Damn. Oh man,
The
so
only
old,
unreal.
so early Disney was all about some based on true story, because then you got like Old Yeller. Jesus Christ.
They're all based on a true story. Hey, it sucks in the pioneer times. Life sucks on the old trail.
Oh my God.
We already knew
Now-
that.
Yeah.
Oh god damn.
Thanks.
I fucking loved every minute of that. I want to start putting based on a true story in front of other stuff. We have to. I'll give it to Titanic. Titanic's allowed to say that. He got a lot of that shit right.
Yeah.
He really did his work on that one. So,
Yeah. Now I'm trying to quick think of like, what could I say based on true? I mean, The Exorcist, I think the true count is a priest did get thrown out a window and go down those steps. I think that's actually true. I think that's it, but I don't know.
God, I doubt that's so fucking hard.
I want to look it up, but I'm not. I'll look it up later. But you
And
heard it here
Shrubbery's
first,
going out
folks.
a window, and I don't even want to see what the implications behind all that are. You Google that on your own time. I'm not doing that. Oh man, priest out of a window. I'm glad that I live at a point in my life where I can say that and not fear for my internal soul.
There you go. Well, yeah, we're in the other universe now, you guys, because CERN started up yesterday and the eclipse and shit. We're back on the right path. We're in the correct universe.
What
Doesn't it feel
bullshit is that?
good?
Has CERN put out anything? I
No,
never
'cause they
hear
don't need
it.
to.
But that's how do we know? I always see those videos where it's like, oh my god, there's the star that's going to appear next to the moon for exactly 3 days, and CERN is going to be running a test. And it's like, how do you know that shit? Have they put out something? Have they said
Not
something?
yet.
Like, then if they
There'll be
didn't say
signs.
anything, how do you know they're running anything? Stop making shit up.
They're being based on true events. That
They're based
they're
on
not.
true CERN is a real place, and the person who's making that assumption has a 50-50 chance, I guess.
Yeah.
So why
See, we're
not?
missing it. We
What's
should
the
make a
stand-
movie about CERN. We could just say
No.
based on true story. No one can tell us we're wrong.
We got time. I want we as the scene snobs right now are going to write down the stipulations for shit. We're gonna write down the stipulations for based on a true story.
Okay.
So these are the new movie based on a true. We're setting the rules.
Hell yeah.
So what's the first rule? What do you have to be? What
There has to be at least 3 real events around whatever it's going around that are factual. Like 3.
about 60%?
Okay. Yeah, I'll settle for that. Yeah. that makes
Or
more sense,
we
yeah.
can even say like 66%. So that way it's like 2/3.
Yeah, there you go. I'm cool with that.
So if you have 66% of your movie is covering the base of the reality that you're assuming. So like if it's a 9/11 movie, but it's a love story, and then he dies in the end, yeah, that's a real movie. Stars
That's
Robert
a great
Pattinson.
fucking movie.
Go
Why
find
do
it.
you hate it? Why do you hate that movie? It's
Because
so good.
it's pandering bullshit. It's pandering. The only reason
That
you
could have
give a shit
happened.
about that movie, if you took him dying out at the end in the World Trade Center at the bomb and the planes on 9/11. I don't know why I made that motion. Jesus Christ. I'm not, like I listen, I don't say this lightly, but I'm thinking this movie pisses me off. See, you get me there. Because it does exactly that. It does exactly that. It pisses me off for that reason. Not because I'm like some holy, like, we have to revere everything about everyone and everything. But 9/11, that's special. Yeah.
Right.
Like that to me, I don't understand why people are like, well, people are forgetting. No. We should never forget that.
Right.
How are we never learning from that? But whatever. And that's not what I'm talking about here. We got to that point because of this pandering bullshit movies that did that. I think World Trade Center with Nick Cage did a good job. That was a good based on a true story movie. It was heartwarming. It was good. It felt like the conspiracy ones. Oh, fuck you. The Go back to your flat Earth caves, and then and then you have no. I welcome them too. I don't care. That I'll be friends with anybody. And you know what? Here's the thing. Like if I'm friends with a flat earther and they're like people get mad, they're like, he doesn't believe it. Just listen to his stories or her stories or their stories. Like, who cares? I don't have to believe it for them to tell me about it. I listen to people talk about Jesus and Christianity all the time.
True.
Why can't I listen to somebody be like, dude, I live on a flat piece of land?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Right.
Why do you think so?
Right.
Dude,
My question
the
is,
moon landing was faked. Cool. Why?
What difference does it make? Even let's pretend the Earth is flat, right? Okay, so what the fuck are you and I doing about it? Okay, we're still here. Okay,
I don't care.
Doesn't change anything about my life. Like, okay, I'm magically rich because I think the Earth's flat. Like, no, all right, still here.
Me being mad at you for believing something I don't doesn't put money in my pocket or food on my table or anything like that. It may do that for the politicians, but definitely don't do that for me. So go on. If you're not hurting anyone, that's my only thing. If you're not hurting anyone, like if your belief system is like Dexter, you know,
right?
Yeah, no, calm down, dude. Don't go with your belief system. You need mental health resources to help you. That's the problem there. Not the problem. It can be fixed, but just don't kill. Don't hurt anybody, you know, like that stuff like that. But like if your belief system is like, hey, I don't know, fucking
the moon's made of cheese.
The moon is made of cheese. Cool. What kind?
Right.
Can we start a week? Can we call it Snobbery Week? And let's start a thing. Let's call it Snobbery Week. Hashtag Snobbery Week. And on Snobbery Week, it's actually kind of funny that we do it this way. On Snobbery Week, am I frozen?
Not on my screen.
Okay, cool. Oh, it looked like it was. So
damn
on
it,
Snobbery
sir.
Week, my thing is everyone just be nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would just screen sharing was canceled. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Were you going to share a screen?
No, I'm not.
Oh, sorry. The screen share popped up for some reason. That was weird. So, all right, Snobbery Week. Let's get back to it. I'm really enjoying this, guys. I come up with this shit on the fly, so please don't get mad and be like, "Oh, dude, he's high and he's stupid." Like, no, my stupid brain just vomits ideas. So, and then my friends just sit there and laugh at me. So,
yes, sir.
We just have to, if every interaction we have to commit to being non-confrontational in reaction. So
it's like a Fight Club challenge,
but not fighting.
Reverse. But yeah, but reverse like just no matter what.
You can join up on the Discord. Let's do reverse Fight Club. So for 1 week, right? We call it Snobbery Week. I'm taking that word back, man. I'm telling you. And we just have to. There we go. Hashtag Snobbery Week. We are just going to every confrontation, every interaction.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes to set you off, even if it's not, even if it's a good interaction, you have to meet it with positive.
Okay.
No matter what. Like if somebody comes at you angry, like give me an example. Throw something at me that would cause a confrontation.
I asked you to do this project and I think you did a poor job and you acted like you didn't care about it. This was
okay. All right. I can work with that. So all right. Hey, I appreciate you letting me know that. Could you explain to me what I missed or what I messed up on, so then that way I can make sure that I don't do that again?
There you go. I like it.
You like just kind of reacting with kind of like diffusing stuff and immediately like going towards more of a positive, because your boss is going to look at you and be like, yeah, Yeah, no problem. It was just something minor. You just do something like they always want to make bigger things out of it. And now if you give him a compliment, be like, I'm gonna like it's gonna help, right? So
Yeah. He's gonna
and
slide me a cup to pee in, but yeah.
yeah. Wife
You're
gets
too
mad at
calm.
you because you didn't do the dishes. You know, all week I've been doing the dishes. I asked you one night, you didn't do the dish. You left them in there all morning, all night. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I did. That was wrong. But how about we do them together? I think that would be a lot of fun. You know, or would you like to stand here and talk to me while I do them? Maybe keep me company. I'd really appreciate it.
There you go.
Boom. Boom.
Done.
Now you got quality time. Which feels good.
And that's what the movie Remember Me did for 9/11. It tried to make good out of a bad situation.
Like saying go the other way. You have to go the other way. No pander. No terrible reactions. Love your flat earthers. Make them a part of your community. Make them join hands around the world. Make all flat earthers
just nice to meet you.
make all flat earthers
I gotta walk away like this, just in
be friends all around the earth. I still do. I don't care. You can join the Snob Nation. I'll have anybody. As long as you're not an asshole and you're not trying to hurt anyone and you're cool like with what other people believe, you can always join. And community's open. It's true. But all right. We've done enough with based on a true story. Snobbery week is now going to be a thing. Probably a disaster one. But I want to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is movies.
Yes.
More so. Not based on a true story movies, just regular movies. Any movie, really. I want to talk about at-home movie snacks and meals.
Right.
Because that's an important component, my friends.
Yes, it is. And
I want to get into it. Because I have to eat different things at different times for different stuff I'm watching. You know what's one I want to share with you, and because of the movies we're covering tonight in our review, and because I knew that horror was going to come up, because we are representatives of Carolina Fear Fest.
Yes, sir.
You guys go 5 Years of Fear. Go get your tickets. Join us. Come hang out. It's gonna be a good time. But
awesome.
Dude, I'm wearing this because horror, The Thing, especially, it's a cold movie. You got to have a warm meal.
Okay.
It's got to have protein.
Okay.
Sometimes maybe I need a stew.
Okay.
And for my snack, I like to make s'mores.
Interesting. Okay.
Fire all around that baby.
I like it.
So what about you, my friend? Give me some examples for you.
So I kind of go disgusting on things. So people are probably gonna be like, what is wrong with you? So like for The Hills Have Eyes, for instance, specifically, I watched that movie. I have to eat spaghetti because it reminds me of all the guts and gore. For whatever reason, it just gets me in the mood of, I need some good, like solid meatballs, not the little ones like the big pebbles.
Yeah.
But typically, if I'm doing most other horror movies, I like having more of a sub, almost something a little more basic, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's always going to be followed with a sweet tea. And then as far as a snack goes, I need something smaller, like a Bunch of Crunch or some Goobers, something light like that. But if I'm watching a comedy, that's where I pig out. So that's the feast. That's where I eat some good steak or something like that, and we got chips out and pretzels and cream cheese.
We changed things up a little bit. You and I are a little different.
But snack-wise, period, when I'm at home, there's always going to be ice cream because I'm lactose intolerant. So at the theater, I can't be doing that. But at home, got the bathroom right there, bro. No problem.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Get it, man. All right. I get a little. Well, before I just get started, I just want to say thank you, Matt, for joining in. And Derpy. Derpy, actually, before we get to Matt, he was covering some of CinemaCon. He said it was happening right now, and I guess the Crow remake was delayed. I'm not going to boo-hoo over it, though. Matt, I wanted to point out, because he was talking about the last one. The issue is that I'll convince other low IQ idiots and goes against all the science proof. It dumbs down society. No, sir. I do love
Yes.
it is ironic that you did misspell society. I love you. I love you, man. And then exterminate flat Earth. That is wrong. Stop being a Dalek. Don't be a Dalek. No extermination whatsoever.
I agree, Matt. No.
No, we gotta enjoy them. We gotta meet them. I don't know why. Who cares? There are people out there who believe the sun is a god, and we don't give a shit. We're like, no, that's old world stuff. It's the new world stuff that we're so afraid of. Like the people who are like, I want to meld with technology. It's like, wow, you're weird. Yeah. What?
Oh, well.
I mean,
I know someone that sun worships. He literally like will close his eyes and stare towards the sun for an hour every morning. Every morning.
Just an odd thing, in my opinion.
It's interesting. I'm just like, whatever, man.
Weird, odd, unique, all outcast. All of that shit is stuff that I love. I love talking to people, especially when they're hanging out and they're talking like this. Listen, I don't like people who are pushy. I don't like people who are trying to force me to do things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I get it if the flat earthers are like literally like Jehovah's Witnesses. I've talked to Jehovah's Witnesses before. They're fine people. And as long as they're not trying to sell me on anything, good, you know, fine. Right. It's when you're invasive with it, that's when I'm like, and no more worse than the Catholic Church. But you know me. So
right.
When you talk about invasive, yeah, you talk about invasive. Like, I mean, and I'm only going by the movie we're going to cover tonight, the first Omen. Sorry. So I don't care. Like, come and talk to me. I'll listen to flat earthers. It doesn't mean I have to adopt their science. I'll listen to Trumpers, the MAGA crew. I don't care. I don't believe in Jewish space lasers. I'm cool with it. I'm not going to drink bleach, but that don't mean that I think everybody feels that way. You know, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'll listen to people because I don't dumb them down to those stupid statements.
That's fair.
That's snobbery week. That's reactionary. Like, I don't want to hate everybody just because like this dude said something stupid and people are still voting for him. Because the other guy on the other side says plenty stupid too. And people are still voting for him. So it is what it is at the moment. But that's neither here nor there for me.
We'll still be here, you guys, regardless.
This is Matt's fault. I wanted to talk movie snacks. He had to say exterminate flat earthers. So now I have to talk him down from the ledge.
I wish Matt had said flatten flat earthers. Like, just gone with it that way.
I mean, for the pun, that would have been really... Honestly, I probably would have glossed over if he had done that. I probably would like, oh, that was funny, man. And then just like kept going. Like, you used the pun. I love puns. Like, I would have dad joked that the whole way.
Yeah.
This is it. There you go. You snobbery week. That's why you're a scene snob. You get it. You snobbery weeked it. I would have chosen flat earthers. You made it better. Sorry, Matt. He did make it better. Flat earthers. It's a dad joke now. What's going on, Jason? Thanks for joining in.
Jason? Yeah.
Paul told me during Scary Snobs he moon worships.
That was in confidence.
Yeah, but he's a
we
werewolf.
don't need to get into that right now. That is true.
I don't doubt that. I've never seen you during.
That's why I do night. Yeah, that's why I do night security, so I can run around the park all naked and just do my little thing. It's a whole thing. It's all right.
Jesus Christ, I have so many questions.
The problem is you don't think I'm a werewolf, but you know I do those things, which is fair.
I know that's the thing. Like, no point when you were saying that did I picture you as a werewolf. I literally just pictured naked ass donkey dick Paul running down this whole slide. Naked. Why? Because he's just like thinks he's a wolf.
Yep. And that's how you check a security system, you guys, to make sure if anyone's watching the cameras, because no one said shit to me the last 3 years.
Samantha says he's definitely a werewolf. That's why I like you. I like werewolves more.
Yep. But probably someone was so like confused why I was doing it that they still haven't said anything for 3 years. But hey, We'll find out this year. What'll happen again?
I mean, I get it. That's the weird part. Like you said it, and I was like, I get it. Like
Whatever.
I kind
I
of
embrace absurdity. Whatever, man.
I know. Like that's why I'm not upset about it. FYI, we came up with one rule for the based on a true story. Every week we should just add to. It's gonna be a project for a while. We're writing a bill of rights for the based on a true story. If you break it, you're done.
Project Snob is in effect.
Oh my God, Scene Snobs are back again. We're tanking topics like left and right. It's amazing. I love it. All right, I will say this when I want, just so we can get into the review because I have lots to say. I will make hamburger helper crunchy taco.
Ooh.
Usually, or my taco dip. Like I have a personal taco dip I make. I will make one of those two things generally. Sometimes it's other Tex-Mex based food whenever Joe Bob is on.
Oh, okay.
I just get in the mood. I like that, style of it and stuff. Again, people who align differently than me, and I love talking to them. So I'm just pointing out all those little things to my werewolf buddy here and all of you out there in podcasting. It is so cool to have. We might have to change your name. I might have to change it from producer Paul, or add, or it's either subtract or add. Producer Paul the werewolf.
Just call me the Wolf Man. I'll start to change my voice.
Next time I see you,
I don't know.
I want to get you the little wolf ears from Great Wolf Lodge.
Yes.
And that's like that being you, that please make that a part of your image for the show. Producer Paul the werewolf.
Okay.
If it makes you feel, I'll wear them too.
Heck yeah.
And then you can just be like, he forces me to wear them. Like,
that means we're gonna have cousin in the wolf that's gonna be at Carolina Fear Fest. That's there dressed as a wolf every year.
I'm in. Let's do it. We got to get the wolf next to the wolf.
And I don't know who they are.
I'm getting you wolf ears.
Okay.
I'm getting you wolf ears. Just be
fine.
aware. And I promise you it's not to make fun.
No, give me a wolf hood because then it comes with the little paws with the claws. I like them.
I love the idea of you being like the wolf man or something. Paul the wolf man.
I'm ferocious.
Why does your wolf man sound like a kitty cat?
Because I'm embracing the snobbery. I'm not trying to kill you. I'm just trying to love you.
You're doing great. I'm not mad at it. You're making me feel so much better. And I was already in a good mood. So like you're the happy Paul the happy werewolf.
Yep.
I love it. It's the best. I knew I loved you. You're my kindred spirit because I love werewolves. Yes. So all right. So I do that. Generally my snacks though of choice are like usually nachos. I like to play nachos or something.
Do you do a homemade dip or a certain dip?
I have, so there's a great place, and I'll give them a shout out. It's a place called Frizzles. They have great dips.
Okay.
That they make, and I go and I get them from there. And then sometimes like I'll make like my taco dip is my taco dip, so I make that, and I make a good French onion dip.
Okay.
So so stuff like that I don't mind making, but generally no. Mary makes some dips though that are pretty good. I did start following a thing that gives you the recipes for all your favorite dips.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
All right, since we're talking snacks, what's your favorite dip with what?
Ooh.
I'll start us off for me. I love onion rings, by the way. I love beer battered first, but I don't mind a breaded. And if they're kind of overly done, like I like them a little harder than I like putting things in my mouth a little harder than softer. So sorry, that's got away from me. So
that's why your mouth's dry.
So salty. All right, trailing off real quick. I was watching Golden Girls last night.
Oh,
And they had the greatest fucking ejaculation and joke of all time.
what'd they say?
Rose picks up the phone and it's a friend of hers from St. Olaf. And like all she goes is like, "What are you trying to say? I can't make it out." Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh my God, I gotta go talk to Miles. And then she hands the phone to Blanche. Oh no. Oh, she goes, "Oh God, it's raining?" And then like she hands the phone to Blanche and runs away because I guess it's a superstition if it's raining something, saying all of you, I gotta go do something. And so Blanche picks up the phone and goes, sounds like it's pouring. I'm like, immediately I had a flashback that I watched that show with my grandmother.
Oh,
I've watched that show since, and I think I just never. Don't say like that was weird.
No, it's endearing. Like I feel that.
Is
like,
it after I just made an ejaculation joke reference?
Hey, whatever reminds you of people you love. You know?
She used to laugh at that shit all the time. It weirded me out to think about that now because that was like the second sex joke in that episode, and I'm like, they're going hard. I don't remember it going this hard.
See, now I need to watch the Golden Girls. I know that'd make Matt happy because that's one of Matt's favorite shows.
It's so good. It always is. Every time, every episode's an amazing episode. I said out loud, "That's weird." Which part? We said a lot of weird shit in a very short period of time.
We're
embracing dude. I'm in full effect. Mick Manhattan is back again after doing this program. Yeah. I feel absurd again, man. It feels great. I'm pumped. I'm having fun. This is a fun conversation. Dude, fucking snacks, real quick. Dips. We were talking about them. Have you ever had Zaxby's?
Yeah.
Zaxby's dip with any chicken is great. I love, if I have to go with a barbecue sauce from a fast food restaurant, like a dip. And I'm saying if I have to, if I can go with my own, like going to other places like at home made stuff, I will. I prefer that barbecue sauce, but I will go with like oh my God, it's so good. But McDonald's probably is my favorite.
Okay.
Out of the fast food. And only barbecue sauce.
Okay, they're tangy barbecue. Yes, sir. It's pretty good.
Don't sleep on Wendy's.
That's fair.
Yeah. And sweet and sour sauce from McDonald's is pretty banging too.
Yep. I have to give a shout out though. My favorite dip with chip is Matt makes this killer at-home chili in a crock pot. And you eat that with some Fritos chips. Fuck. Like it's like crack. And I don't eat half the shit that's in there because I hate onions and I hate actual tomatoes, and I know he has them in there. No problem. No problem.
I was listening to your story, and then Jason had to put this. All for your grandma and the sex. And then it reminded me of another story. And I'm a little conflicted. I don't know if I should tell it.
Please don't. Save for the next episode.
It has nothing to do with my grandma. Well, that's not true.
You're gonna. Oh shit! You are your own grandpa. Oh, go ahead and go with it.
No.
Here we go.
No.
Yes.
Nothing like that. Nothing like only my grandmother's place.
God bless. I told you not to do that at grave sites.
No, not that. Wrong place.
You're welcome.
What am I? A Japanese anime? Do you think I had sex on her tombstone?
I don't know, man. You do what you gotta do. I can make my thing black and white. Just I'm like, I got you. We can do this.
Oh my God, that made me cry on that one. And then he falls in over Wendy's. It's so good.
God, I love Jason.
Oh. He did remind me of some shit. I'll tell you that. Oh my God.
Yeah, it must be fun.
Holy shit. I am yeah, that was a good one. So I can't even think of dips and snacks anymore. I'm done with this topic. Segueing hard out of it. I'm veering so hard out of this topic. That one. Yeah, anyway. It always starts with a laugh because it comes right in at the heel of the podcast part. Oh my god. Well, oh fuck. I didn't say that. I only put our ratings. I didn't get the thing with the poster for the movie. So we're gonna talk about Monkey Man first. On this on this episode, we got a really absurd. Brace the absurdity, baby. That's what it's all about. We got really absurd, so that's why we're laughing. But we are reviewing tonight Monkey Man, from producer Jordan Peele and new director, and written by Dev Patel. We'll talk about that second. We're going to talk about the first Omen first, and that one gets interesting. So this one is a prequel. It's getting the Exorcist treatment, as I call it, the Omen franchise, and it's getting a prequel about the mother of Damien, who may or may not be at an orphanage or a nun. And I say that not lightly because this movie. Before we begin, we will be spoiling a little bit. We try not to go too hard. If you've seen it, great. If you haven't, you don't want any spoilers, we get it. Tune out. Maybe come check us out and again. But we're not going to go too hard into it. We're not going to reveal too much. But there really wasn't big twists or turns with these. So it's not really a spoiling thing. So the stuff, in my opinion, that we could spoil, like the cool death scenes, stuff like that, we're gonna spoil this too. So, we may. So just deal with us. But let's talk about the first Omen. So you have a lot more to say on this than I do. And that's probably, and I'm still long-winded. So I want you to finish this one off. I'm gonna just go real quick and say I think this was a most needless movie I think I've ever seen. It was pointless to a point where it's like I did not need this story extended whatsoever. You could have just retold it. You could have done it. It could have been done really well. In fact, you could have made the prequel interesting. It could have been really interesting if it tied in together, or just stop trying to like reinvent the original or retcon or do this. Like, why not tie it in? Like, I think at one point, I think I fixed this movie at one point with my hypothesis, where I thought she was the nun who was taking care of the little girl who would go on to become the mother of Damien, or she was going to give birth to Antichrist, rather. You know what I mean? The nun, I thought it would have been cool if like she ended up being the nanny who hangs herself, because has a direct contact. They reinvent that scene in this stupidly. I'm sorry that it was. I mean, the visuals were cool, but it's like it was kind of pointless. I was like, why you're selling it? It's kind of like how Star Wars fucked up the prequels. Like, it's you're going back there and you're trying to force us to like something, and it's just not there. Just give us the stuff that we like, and tell a good story, which none of which they do. So that really bothered me. The visuals are cool. Again, like there's some death scenes. There's one with the stainless glass and such, and two priests, Charles Dance being one of them. Thought it was really well done. I really liked it. The way they played it out. There's just some really cool stuff here that amounts to nothing in this whole bubble of a terrible movie. I really have a very big problem with the subgenre of like Christian-based horror films. Mostly they're the exorcism films that involve religion. Yeah. In a major capacity. Like there are some movies that are doing it. To my understanding, Late Night with the Devil, and other movies, like there's where it doesn't have a religious component, but there is possession involved. So remove those. I'm not saying possession films.
Right.
I'm saying Christian or religious based or no, I'll just say Christian based like horror, stuff like that. Honestly, at this point, give it to Christian screenwriters, Christian based screenwriters.
Right.
Go for it, and go for that Christian base. Like the Christian base has a huge movie industry.
Yeah.
On its own. And when I say huge, I'm not saying slouch. You know, you may not agree with the messages or whatever, and I'm not even, you know, I've seen some. I like the sentimental ones, not bad. The tear jerkers. I don't like the ones that like make you feel like it's the apocalypse if we take your guns or something. And like it's just as outlandish as the other side. It's just like it's too much. But like the football ones and stuff, like, yeah, listen, I like it. I dig it. It's fun. So stuff like that, you know. And it's the same with like those Hallmark movies. Like, yeah, I don't like those movies, but I'll watch Jesse Stone all fucking day long. Let's do this. You don't know what I'm talking about. That's your problem. Go watch Jesse Stone after the show. So for me, it's like, I think it would be a cool experiment to just be like, all right, we're going to hire Christian-based writers to write these types of horror movies more for their base and catch on, see if it works.
Right.
Or at the very least, change it up and revitalize it a little bit so that way other writers get inspired.
Right.
You know, there's a reason William Peter Blatty made The Exorcist work so well. He researched the actual religion, put the faith behind it. You know, and that it feels hollow when you don't do that. And out of all of the shit that I just mentioned, this movie the most hollow, and that is why I say that. And that's all I got to say before I give my rating. Paul, take it away.
So if you guys want to see a good version of this movie, just watch the original Omen with Gregory Peck, and there you go. Because this one was a snooze fest. They stole too many of the scenes from the original. I mean, you can't beat Gregory Peck, like, at the end of the day, because even the first Omen, or not the first Omen, like this movie, like the original Omen movie, you just can't beat his acting, like, just period. So even though it might be a little more boring by horror standards, that Omen is still the better one of all of them, in my opinion. This one, like you said, it was pointless. And unfortunately, you know, we watched the Gregory Peck Omen before we saw this, because, you know, I was hoping to build more story, and the trailer for first Omen looked amazing. They made it seem like it was gonna be ominous and creepy, and I was like, oh hell yeah, and was disappointed from start to finish, just being like, oh, that's from the other Omen. That's from the other Omen. What is this? Why are we talking about this? Okay. It's one, not to steal from Sturdy, but I'd say watch at your own risk. I wouldn't recommend this movie to anybody unless they want to be bored. If they're like, oh, I want to watch something to fall asleep to, there you go. Watch the first Omen.
I honestly, this is these tropes too. And what bothers me, I think, the most about this movie is its portrayal of like women.
Yeah.
It's and for the reason is the unbelievability of it. It kind of takes the humanity out of women in a weird way.
Yeah.
And its characters.
Yeah.
And it's trying to force a different narrative of what the original was. And I think that's what it was. It was like, you're trying to make this societal, but you're not understanding the reason people like the Antichrist story.
Right. So
when it comes down to it, it's just kind of like, all right, so what do we, and you know, I don't know the director. Yeah, she's a female filmmaker. She wrote it too and stuff, but like, this didn't feel like it felt more formulaic in tone to what we see how women are portrayed. And like, now get mad, whoever wants to get mad at that statement and be like, but look at so many great horror movies with female leads where they're written so well. And that's especially in recent years where you get some really cool stuff, especially from younger actors, like Totally Killer was a really good one. Lisa Frankenstein. Like, you know, stuff like that, where you're getting these really strong female characters that are enhancing the story of the movie, you know, of the narrative, you know, within the movie. And that's what I'm talking about when I say this.
Right.
These characters did none of that. They were kind of pointless. They were used. It was almost like these useless tropes that have been, you know, so far gone. You just want to get away from them. And that I just had to kind of drop the hammer on that. I just really did not like this movie.
Same.
Our ratings for this are 2 out of 5 for both.
Yeah,
we got pretty similar minds, I think, when it comes to this stuff. But
yeah,
we're going to talk about Monkey Man.
heck yeah.
And I wanted to say this because this is another one that was so different. It took sort of a subgenre within itself, one that you would put like maybe the John Wicks in, and the stuff like that, the Mr. Nobodies, where you kind of get these like characters you would not think are badass,
right?
But then they have this badass story to them. And what bugs me about the rest is like Mr. Nobody and John Wick in particular, they think it's interesting to leave their backstories out, to leave them haunting. It worked in the first John Wick, and then you tried to expand in every other one, and I just don't think it worked.
Gotcha.
I didn't mind the world building, but it was too much. I would have preferred you build an anthology out of this than just focus on the one guy. Personally, that's just me. He could still be there,
right?
And he could even be in the head of it, but now you're building on a whole world rather than just focusing on the chase on him or something. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that because we're focusing on Monkey Man. And the reason I come back to that is that's what they gave you in this. And I really think the backstory that they added to this enhanced it so much.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it because I love that he's not a great fighter in the beginning.
No, at all.
He sucks at it, but he's good at getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, he can take a hit. No problem.
Yeah. But he sucks at fighting. And that's how he makes his money. And he's like got this whole revenge idealistic plot against the guy who killed his mother. Well, you assume they never really say his mother until a certain point. I mean, you do get there fairly quickly. I'm not saying, but like in the beginning, they don't immediately. You just kind of assume it is because he's a kid.
Right.
So like, again, there's no twist there. But to find out how the society plays into it, I really love this movie. I have one gripe against it.
Okay.
And it's an odd gripe. I don't do this often. So this is kind of a monumental one because like I don't even know when the last time I said it was. But on the review, I think it should have been longer. I think it should have been longer, and I think it should have been in the back half. When he finally is trained and when he takes the money and he goes to make the fight to get more money for him so they can pay off and they start cheering Monkey Man. I thought they should have made Monkey Man. Like he doesn't take the mask off by that point. He's basically Batman at this point. He's still gunning for revenge. He wants to kill, but now he's taking down the corruption little by little. He's kind of like Deadpooling it a little bit. To get to that final killer, but he's taking out the business along the way.
Right.
I thought, or Old Boy even would be another good, sort of parallel. I thought if you made it a little, and you don't have to go too long, you can montage that.
Right.
I'd say you can add maybe another 20 minutes to this. And if you added that story where like these guys feel the pressure because the Monkey Man is tearing their business down.
Yeah.
We need to go on the hunt. And then that's when he decides I'm going for them. And then it turns into like that raid type scenario where he's going up the castle.
Yeah.
And that should have been longer, in my opinion.
Yes.
That was too long, in my opinion. Here's a weird, I know this is where my brain gets absurd, but that was too long because they didn't have that longer story.
Right.
Of him bringing down sort of the corruption along with it. Because by the time he dies, he takes off the mask and kills the guy and he dies. And yes, okay, I know I ruined the end, but like it's beautiful. Like that isn't the thing that you should be with, because there's more to it after that, and it's fucking beautiful, and it's one of the most. And Dev Patel, keep making movies, man. You're a smart dude. I really like your imagery. I really like the sound to this. You had a great sound in this. The music was fantastic. It was like a So it was like Janice was in there. I think the Doors was in there at some point. Like all this different music, but it had like this very India based music background, like the culturally it was like, but it was the singers.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I thought, and it added such a great element. I went into this movie like, I'm not really interested. It's another John Wick. I don't care. It's another actor trying to make himself look like a badass. And I want to apologize for that because this was a really good fucking movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. I do wish people would get out to see it. I think go see it in theaters. It's a good mix. Everybody, like the comedy was a good amount. It gets dark, but it also like is heartwarming at times. Really, really good, well-paced story. I just wish it was longer so that way we could have added the element of him tearing down the corruption along the way, not just killing them. That's a personal preference, though.
Right.
I get why he did what he did. Doesn't make the movie bad. It's just a personal preference. I would have liked to have seen that because then I think that would have added to the Monkey Man ideal more and made it more of a bigger, like, wow, the Monkey Man's tearing down the corruption. That's crazy. I've gone on. I talked, but I was just really excited to do it. Tell us, what do you think about this movie?
So I looked a lot into the backstory of just the film, period, before I saw it. So I kind of was going in thinking it kind of might be a little low rate. I get, Monkey Paw Productions helped out, so Jordan Peele, backed it and brought him back. But when I heard that Netflix dropped him, I'm like, oh shit, it must be a bad story since Netflix dropped him. And then I heard they had like every problem you could have while filming, they had to where they had to film some scenes even on their phones. So I was like, I feel like this is going to be, like you said, kind of a John Wick, but done really poorly. And kind of like you, I need to apologize because I was so wrong. The acting was spot on. I loved how much they made it tie into, an Indian religious story. I thought that was really cool. I thought it was done right. I think if you're not one that loves John Wick and you want more of a realistic one, this is a realistic-esque John Wick because he's not invincible. He's not killing 120 people by himself and barely getting a bruise here or there. He gets hurt. He gets stabbed. He gets messed up. And like you said, the culture just visually, a lot of those scenes and the parties, and I forget what they said, not New Year's, but whatever they were celebrating. I just loved all the colors and the music. I like that he paid homage to that community because I think that shined a light on that community because now I want to know more about Indian culture and look into that a little bit more just because I was like, this was an interesting story. I liked how that one, I guess, religious tale of Monkey Man was the whole basis kind of him and, the villain in this. And they tied it all together, and I thought it was done beautifully.
Yeah, 100%. No. Please continue. I really want to hear what you say, but I 100% agree. I wanted to pull it up again because just some information on it. I want to see how it did in the box office this weekend. Because I have to tell you, like, you could continue the story. You could, I said, he died. That's not necessarily true,
right?
So like, because there is also a lore there that can he die,
right?
And they play into it really well. Like and that's what I love religious movies like this when there's a religious basis to it because it's not force feeding anything, but it's telling me about the culture of your religion,
right?
And that makes me want to read up on it more,
right?
I'm telling you, like the Christian PR people need to like create a culture where you're like enticed to come in and like be like, I want to learn about this more. Take it from this because this movie does do it because it has it really does. It shares the culture so well from many different, from the dark points to the really beautiful points. I love the way you put that. And its budget was 10 million. It only made 12.7. I urge people to go see this. I think it's a really good film. It's a violent film.
Yes.
So like if you're thinking of date night, but it's not a horror movie.
No, not at all.
I think it got a connotation of a horror movie because it's dark and it's
monkey paw.
Monkey paw. We're used to that, but like I think it's I try to have some fun. Masturbators, I love that. I love that masturbators.
I bet you do,
I
Mick.
want to talk to you. I love that. That's
I could
great.
go on all day with the masturbators.
We can masturbate all day, and I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Oh man.
I'd have a lot of fun masturbating with you.
Yeah.
And
And Patel
did I say it
took
wrong
a
at that point?
beating. He took a beating during that movie. Like when you hear
He
about
did,
the
dude.
injuries, got pink eye, and that was crazy. That told me so much about the film beforehand. Cause like I said, like the bathroom scene, you're not with these big Hollywood productions where it's a whole clean set and stuff. Like, nah, you filmed in like a bathroom. And I'm sure someone tried to clean, and I'm not trying to say someone did a shit job, but obviously it wasn't clean enough to where he got pink eye. Like you never hear Tom Cruise got pink eye filming, Mission Impossible 19. Like that never happens. Like this man went through it, kept trying. Netflix dropped him, and he still kept his head up. So yeah, you guys go see it because he deserves it. This movie deserves it.
I'd like to see more from him.
Yes, and I respect. That's why I love Jordan Peele. This just made me love him more. That he said, "Wow, this is great. I love it. I want to back it. Let's push it."
And and I want to say this when we're talking about filmmakers who are people of color, and then we talk about movies that are coming more from people of color, and a lot of people argued about the Jordan Peele when he was like, and he's so out of context whenever they quote it. It was like, I don't want to cast the white guy in the leads in the white people in the leads in my movies anymore. I've seen those movies. Like, I love that there is like he's putting out great voices telling great stories from different point of views. Because I got to be honest, defend what you want, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of greatness coming out of anywhere else. So like, and I'm not just saying it's Jordan Peele, but like a lot of the indie, those guys and stuff like that are putting out some really great stuff. So, and that's what I want. I want more filmmakers like that. Sharto Copley played a great character in this. I don't know her name. What's his name? Rana Singh, who played the bad guy. I know it because of the name tag. I wish I knew his name off the bat, but he was fantastic. He was so terrifying.
Yeah,
the whole time. And even the guy who played like the head leader,
the
religious leader that he was working for that was corrupt. The whole element I thought did a great job. I just I mean, I can gush about this movie all day long, but that is one of the things. I think it was just a beautifully done movie, and our ratings for this were, I gave it a 4 and you gave it a 3.5. That's a good rating. It's a strong rating.
Yes,
that's definitely a go check it out, I think, for both of us.
Yes. And I will tell you guys, when I went into it, I thought it might be a 2 at best going into it. So I was pleasantly, very happily surprised that it turned out how it did.
I'm also going to argue maybe go see this before seeing anything coming out this weekend. If you want to go see what's coming out this weekend, go ahead. I don't care. The whole Civil War thing, and it feels like such a plant movie. And it feels like so ridiculous, and that's fine. I don't mind weird, absurd movies and checking it out, but like it also feels like that pandering I was talking about. It's like the extreme side of putting Robert Pattinson in the World Trade Center and Remember Me. And if anybody's watching this review as a clip and that wonders what I'm talking about, go watch the podcast. You'll figure it out. So, and I said it smugly, but please go do it. It is a lot of fun. We had a good time, but it's one of those things where it's like it's extreme pandering the other side that's really just trying to scare people against a certain type of people, and I don't, again, I'm not about that. It's not very weak. So I think I'm just going to be like, have fun with your Civil War. I'm going to I don't know if it's living in my own little bubble. Believe that the world isn't turning into that, but like, I just don't know if I'm ready for that type of movie yet, or have a desire to see it.
No, that's fair. But I'm ready for Civil War.
A rough way to tell you. Yeah, I'm probably not doing that one next week. But
I'm gonna see it. I live in the Bible Belt.
That would be a good go see or stream.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. All right. Well, mixed movie pick for the week comes from 1948. I actually, this is one of the movies. It's It's called The Bicycle Thieves out of Italy.
Hmm.
Well, actually, it's originally called The Bicycle Thief, I believe. Yeah, I did some research on it, and I believe it was The Bicycle Thief, and then they called it The Bicycle Thieves when they brought it over to America. We're sort of playing it. So it's such a great tale about in post-war Italy, work is scarce. Having a bicycle to be able to get back and forth from work is a big commodity, a huge asset in that world for people just looking to scrape by. And a man finally gets a bicycle, saves up for it, finally gets it, gets the job. He's starting in a couple of days, and it gets stolen. And this movie follows he and his son on their desperate attempt to get their bicycle back. And I know it may sound silly or juvenile when you say bicycle. It is a wonderful tale, but it is also it holds a lot of things up to a microscope. Like that's why I say I don't feel like going to see movies like Civil War. Personal preference. Not saying I'll never see it. Not saying I won't review it. But that for me is like one, I don't want to go see those like propaganda films that are pointing at one side or this, that, or the other thing. I want to watch movies like this that smartly display what economic downturn is, how it feels in Reconstruction, trying to keep your family afloat and the desperate need for that. And not as a downer, but as the beautiful tale that is interwoven between the father and son and what's being taught and just that whole examination of that life. This is a fantastic movie. In fact, on the Scene Snobs Facebook page, very early on when we were called Movies 365, and this is back in 2013, this is one of the first movies I did a written review on. So it should still be up there. So you might be able to find it. It used to be by the film poster. So I don't know if it's the same one, but you can go check it out there. So there's more to say on that if you go read it, but this is a fantastic film. I do think everybody should go check it out. It's an Italian film from 1948, The Bicycle Thief, or The Bicycle Thieves, one or the other, but please go check it out. Yeah, that's my mixed movie pick for the week. Guys, we're here at the end. A couple things I got to tell you. A couple of little blurbs I got to say to you. Shopify. We love you. You out there? You want to start a business? Shopify is how you do it. If you don't know that, I don't know what to tell you. No, seriously though, Shopify is great. Shopify does help you start your e-commerce business from beginning to end. They'll help you put everything together, and they'll take care of things. You have support through them, stuff like that. See, I have cards, but not for Shopify. So there are some really great things. I did put up, so what they're offering right now, if you go down in the link below, free for 3 days. And then 1 month, your first month is $1. And then you can check it out, and it's not much more than that. So go check it out. Let me know what you think. We also have another one that I want to point out today that my wife signed us up for, and I have had them. They're gummies, but they have lots of great things, and that's Pure Hemp Botanicals. They get you a nice little stagnant high. I liked it. It was really nice. Yeah. Like it made me very chill to watch movies with. And right now they're offering 25% off Delta 9 THC. You can go down in the link below and you can get your offer. So go check them out. Tell them the Scene Snobs sent you. I would like to tell you guys, we are pitching a little bit more with the sponsor stuff like that. We're growing. We have more shows coming. Lots of fun stuff. If you like the channel, we always appreciate that support that goes into it. We always appreciate all the things that you guys do for us. And check out the sponsors and whatnot. But other ways that you can support is we have a Patreon. And I think it's pretty good Patreon. Paul, you've been a patron of the Patreon. You can tell them. But some things that I want to share that we do there, we have different tiers available, of course, but we do movie insider news, some fun ones for our higher tiers. We just did a big movie drop. There's some really fun stuff you can go check out there. Special merch discount pricing. You get certain, we have special codes for you. First chance at exclusive updates, merch, and more, all that stuff. Exclusive shows. We're going to have an exclusive live show that's going to be coming on Wednesdays. That's going to be on our Patreon and for our Discord members only. And then we're going to be doing, Warp Factor Fiction, a couple other things that we have going on. So hopefully you guys will be a part of that. But one thing I am offering and it starts at the mega fan tier, and it's time with me because I hate podcast coaching. But and not to boast, I'm very good at this.
Mhm.
I've been doing this for 12 years, 13 actually at this point. And I'm good at this. I'm good at posting. I'm good at creating stuff. Am I the perfect? Well, podcasting, I know a lot. Filmmaking, I can fill you in on. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but all this stuff, I don't have a program for it. I have a system. And I don't feel like being the guy who's like, I'm going to put my system together for you and you're going to have this. I'd rather be the guy, like, if you're supporting me on Patreon, you want a little time each month, like, $10 at the $10 tier, it's like 20 minutes every month. At the $20 tier, I think it's like $30 each month. And then at the $50 tier and above, it's an hour. And during that time, we could talk about any aspect of all those things, filmmaking, all aspects of filmmaking too. I'm happy to talk to you about. I talk about lighting. I want to talk about camera work. You want to talk about what shots should you do? Consulting. That's these guys. They come in the labs all the time, and it's just ideas, and like I'm trying to help you build out. Like, so it's not just about talking about your podcast and be like, let's start what you want to talk about. Well, what do you finely tune? What's your niche? What do you really want to go for? It's like when you meet a really good tattoo artist and they sit you down and they go, I don't want to do an infinity symbol on you. I'm an artist. You want to go to a tattoo peddler, go for it. And this is me. I'm literally verbatim, quoting a tattoo artist, not myself, but like, it was like very funny situation, but also at the same time, very true. Like, I spend all of my time doing this. This is why I am who I am. This is why I do what I do. And it's the same thing. Like, I want to help you with that stuff, but I don't want to sell you shit. That makes sense. Like, I don't want to be like, well, buy this or buy my book or buy that. No, you want some time with me? We'll sit down. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to cover? You want to talk, I'll help you put it all together and then build it out and then give you a brand to package, but it takes time. So if you want to join up, you can join up on the Patreon. That's down below. That's another part of the tier. Happy to do that. And we'll schedule that time. Yeah. Other than that, horror snobs, we got our merch store. Go to snobsmerch.com. Use promo code snobs for 10% off your order. That's right. And we also have one of my favorites, the Godzilla Errors Tour design. That's up there. You can get the stickers, you can get the shirts, all that jazz. Remember Carolina Fear Fest? Their tickets are on sale now. Go get them. We are official media partners. We will be there having a great time, talking to the celebs, talking to the vendors, talking to the people, because that's what's so much fun. Actually, I love talking to people the most, but we're going to be doing panels, the whole nine. It's going to be a great time. So join in with us. I know it was a little long-winded. I appreciate you joining in. Paul, you got anything you want to add before we go?
Hey, it's Snobbery Week, so be kind and make sure to wipe front to back.
I love it. And I'm going to jump off that. He's absolutely right. Be kind to each other because that's important. Stay classy. Take care of yourselves because that is also important. And we will talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.